Hello and welcome to Three Things with JR. I'm JR, and we are here in the month of June 2024. This is season 5 of this show, the 10th episode of this season, and the 148th episode overall, approaching 150 episodes. Damn, that's a lot. So let's see, where do we start? How about this? Happy birthday to my granddaughter, Aaliyah. She turned 6 on June 1st. We're having a birthday party. I say we. I'll be going to her birthday party this coming Saturday. So there you go. Just happy birthday to her. If you want to hear the wonderful, sweet, amazing little Aaliyah, she was my special guest just a couple episodes ago. You should go check it out. She was fantastic. She couldn't have been a better podcast guest. Let's see. What's going on here these days? How about this? I was explaining to my friend how excited I am every day when I get alerts on my phone from our new bird feeder. I got Kiki a bird feeder as a birthday present. I wasn't sure what to get Kiki, and I was scrolling through TikTok, and TikTok showed me a bird camera, a bird feeder with a camera built in. And Kiki likes bird feeders. She has several out in the yard now, in trees and such. And I thought, how cool would it be if she could see the birds on her phone whenever she wanted to? And so I ordered it. We got it. We set it up. 4 or 5 days went by. No birds. Birds did not seem to care until they did. The squirrels actually found it first, and now the birds. And now the birds and the squirrels take turns on the bird feeder, and this is the reason I get 75 alerts a day. And so does Kiki, that there's motion on the bird camera, and it's got AI in it, so it tries to identify the birds. It's not very good at doing that because it sees the same birds and it tells us they're different kinds of birds sometimes. It seems to get really excited about different types of birds. Exclamation point, after the bird name and stuff like that. It just gets really excited. When it sees squirrels, it calls them a pet. A pet was spotted in your bird camera. And the squirrel, since it looks humongous on the bird camera, we have nicknamed our new pet squirrel Godzilla. And it's been a lot of fun. I will be putting out a video on YouTube at some point featuring the birds and the squirrels. I have so much footage. I spent a couple hours the other night going through a couple hundred video clips in just a few days. It's kind of insane, and it's been a few days since I did that, and I feel like I'm falling behind because I haven't been able to keep up with all of the videos of the birds and the squirrels. When I was telling my friend how excited I was to see all these birds in our bird feeder, he told me I'm getting old. This is a sign of how old I am, because this is the kind of thing I'm excited about. And to be fair, I'm excited about a lot of other things as well, things that don't indicate I'm old. But this one, well, it might. In other news, the band, To Be Fair, if you listen to my other podcast that I do with Gary from my band, Small Things Considered, out every alternating Tuesday from this show, then you'll know we've been talking about a project that has been in the works for the last, 30 or 40 years with Gary. Many songs that he has written that we have played will be recorded, and we need help paying for recording it, mixing it, mastering it, distributing it, marketing it, and all that stuff. And we have put together a Kickstarter campaign. There will be more information on this coming very soon, including a video in which I directed, shot, and edited, featuring Gary making his plea to the masses for some support for this project. I filmed the video, and then I used this opportunity to get better at video editing. I'll be a better video editor for having done this because I had to learn more about color correction and stuff like that. Normally I don't worry about that stuff in my videos, but with this one, it was necessary because the cameras were... I also learned about lighting. Well, it's good and it's important to light your videos correctly. All those hours that people spend lighting for camera shots, I get it. I get it now. It makes so much more sense when you don't have the right light. You think you do, but you don't. You got to look at it through your camera's eye, not your naked eye, live in the room with the lights. And well, I just learned a little bit about that, so I'll make better videos as a result of this. I'm pretty excited for you to see it. It'll be up on a Kickstarter page. It'll be up on YouTube. You won't be able to avoid it if you are talking to Gary or me or anybody associated with us in our band, because it's we're going to push it pretty hard. So be on the lookout for that. It's a pretty cool project. I really hope you'll support Gary and the rest of us in To Be Fair in this cool project. So thank you in advance for your support. Look for links to that coming soon. Let's do some things.
Thing number one.
Life is short. Buy the tickets. I've seen this posted several times in the past few months on Facebook, and I think it's a good way to live life. If there's something you want to go see and experience, if you don't get the tickets, you can't go see and experience it. And life is short. Get the tickets. Go do it, because you may not ever get to see that thing again. And the thing I just bought tickets for is the Austin City Limits Music Festival in Austin, Texas, in October this year. I've always wanted to go to Austin, Texas. For many reasons. One, it seems like a cool city. The whole Keep Austin Weird thing speaks to me really well. The music in Austin is kind of amazing. The Austin City Limits television show on PBS. The Asylum Street Spankers, my favorite band of all time, hails from Austin. And of course, the Austin City Limits Music Festival. It is a 2-weekend, 3 days per weekend show. Concert, festival, many bands, a couple stages, huge park right in the middle of Austin. Always wanted to go. And arguably I should have gone before now. I should have bought the tickets before now. But when I saw that Sturgill Simpson was going to be one of the headliners, that was pretty persuasive. Another headliner, Chris Stapleton, big fan. And I just recently became a fan of Dua Lipa when I saw her perform on Saturday Night Live. Those are the 3 main headliners, and there's a bunch of other bands that I'm excited about as well. Blink-182, for example, Orville Peck, and a whole bunch of others. In fact, since I bought the ticket to Austin City Limits, I went to look, and sure enough, they were smart enough to make a playlist on Spotify with all of the bands that will be there on the weekend I'm going to be there, which is weekend 1 for Austin City Limits 2024. So I'm able to go and experience the music from the bands that I'm not familiar with, so I can know which bands I want to see all 3 days of the festival. I'm pretty freaking excited about this. When I first got the idea, I thought, who should I go with? So I sent a text to my sister, my daughter, and my girlfriend, Aubrey, Allison, and Kiki. And I thought it'd be fun to go with Aubrey, my sister. That'd be cool. She's a big music, live music fan. And I think she's been to Austin, but I don't remember if she had or not. I thought this might be her cup of tea, and I would enjoy going with Aubrey. But she decided it's not her cup of tea, spending 3 days in hot, sweaty Texas at a music festival. Just sounds like something she might have enjoyed 20 years ago. I get that, but bummer. Allison would love to go, but can't commit because of her job as a doula being very unpredictable. Can't commit to going. So she's not in either. And Kiki right away pretty much knew it was not her cup of tea, not a 3-day music festival. She would like to go to Austin, but not for this. So when all 3 of them turned me down, I went to Gary, and Gary was in, but took a look at his calendar and his finances and said, no, I can't really swing it. So I was left to decide do I go alone? Is that what I'm going to do? Do I ask every other person I know that I might want to go with? And there's plenty of people that I wouldn't mind going with, but it's a heavy duty commitment. It's probably assuming we drive, it's a full day of driving each way. It's 3 days, about 10 hours per day at a music festival. I'm going to want to play disc golf while I'm there. It is actually a destination disc golf city. It's the best city in Texas for disc golf. It's one of the best cities in the United States for disc golf. Lots of courses, a big disc golf community, and so it's not just Austin City Limits and the music festival. There's also disc golf involved. So, I couldn't really think of anybody else. So, I was left to decide: do I go alone or not? And I waited a few days until they put out the actual schedule showing which bands are playing which weekend. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to miss the bands I wanted to see. And I went ahead and did it. I bought the 3-day pass for weekend one. And then I went and figured out where I'm staying. I started looking at hotels and didn't like the prices I was seeing on hotels. And so I started looking at Airbnbs, and I found one that appears to be very close to the best disc golf course in town. So I'll be able to go play disc golf and then go to the music festival. And it'll be a short Uber ride or drive into downtown Austin if I feel like going out in the evening after the concerts. I don't know that I'll have actually that much energy, but we'll see. So I got the Airbnb, a couple $100 less expensive than the hotels. And now I'm just sort of deciding, am I going to drive or fly? I do love a lone road trip. I don't mind the idea at all of having to drive that far. It's probably not wise to try to do that drive all in one day. So I'm thinking maybe drive 14 or so hours, which is about the amount of time it'll take to get to New Orleans. Maybe stay there one night and then drive the rest of the way to Austin the next day. It will not be cheaper. If I'm going alone, it will not be cheaper to drive than it would be to fly. But I like a lone road trip, so I'll get to listen to whatever books and music I want. I'll be able to smoke as much as I want and stop whenever I want or not stop whenever I don't want. And now I am completely sold on the idea of going alone and probably making friends with all of the people at the concert in the city of Austin and just doing that thing. So that's the plan. I am now planning to drive alone to Texas to see the Austin City Limits Music Festival, play disc golf, stop in New Orleans, and drive home. That's the plan. And if you are going to Austin City Limits yourselves, I'd love to see you there. So hit me up. Let me know if you're going to be there. And hopefully we can meet up at the festival. Or if you just happen to be in Austin, I'd love to see you maybe. That'd be kind of cool. But that's the plan. And just remember, life is short. Buy the tickets. Thing number two. Thing number two is typically a recommendation, and this week is no exception. Kiki and I have been binging a show that was recommended by one of Kiki's clients, and she highly recommended it. It is not the show I thought it was going to be. She said you should watch Resident Alien, and I had never heard of this show before. I immediately thought that it was the video game, which is Resident Evil. Not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. I thought it was like a show based on the video game Resident Evil, which I think that might exist. I don't know. But when I went searching for what she said, which was Resident Alien, I found the show. It's available on Peacock, all 3 seasons. The first 2 seasons are also available on Netflix. And we are loving it. It is not the show I thought it was going to be. It's hilarious. It's about an alien who crash lands his spacecraft in the mountains of Colorado, and he assumes the body of a human and has to pretend to be the doctor in town. And It's hijinks ensue and crazy stuff, and it's great. It's like it was a sci-fi show. It's based on a graphic novel, and I mean, the show has had so many like happy moments, so many. I mean, we laugh out loud multiple times per episode. They use music in a wonderful way. The show is kind of silly. It's kind of stupid. It's kind of like a sitcom, but it's a one-camera type of show, and it's several notches better than any sitcom I've ever seen. But I would say it's kind of like, so this will date me a little bit, and for anybody young out there listening, you may never heard of these shows, but look them up. There's two shows that I think if they got together and had a baby, it would be Resident Alien. And those two shows are Third Rock from the Sun and Northern Exposure. So Third Rock from the Sun, starring John Lithgow and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and some other people I don't remember, but they're aliens and they have to figure out how to live with humans. And they, of course, don't understand humans, so it's constant hijinks, right? So it's that combined with Northern Exposure, which was a show about a New York doctor who, as part of his, he had to get his medical school paid for by the state of Alaska, he had to go to Alaska and be a doctor in the small town in Alaska, not what he had in mind. So it's a bit of a fish out of water story about a doctor in a small town in the mountains and cold and all that. And this is like, it's what Resident Alien is in many ways about, combined with the silliness of Third Rock from the Sun. And there's also, of course, a little bit of Men in Black involved as well. So I don't know. I can't really describe it any better than that. Don't want to spoil anything. We have finished season 1, and we are eagerly looking forward to starting season 2. And I highly recommend Resident Alien. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's on Peacock. It's on Netflix.
Thing number 3.
Near Charlottesville, there... right where Route 64 and the 250 bypass, right where they converge, which is pretty close to like UVA and downtown. There are these big, huge signs. There must be a major construction project going on, and these big, huge orange signs. You can't miss them. They say blasting zone. So I assume they are blowing stuff up to make a hole and build a building or whatever they're doing. It just happens to be pretty close to where my daughter lives. And every time I drive by and see those signs, I think of the comedian Brian Regan. He's a pretty famous comedian, been around a long time, A-list comedian. We actually got to see him in Charlottesville last year. He's coming back to Charlottesville again this year. If you've seen the show Loudermilk, which is now on Netflix, he's got a pretty big role in that show. He plays Muggsy, and he is simply a hilarious individual. What I love about his comedy is that it was one of the few comedians that we could listen to in the car as a family with my young children growing up. My ex-wife was not into anything risque in any way, shape, or form, but we all, her included, loved Brian Regan. We played his CD every time we were driving somewhere. We must have listened to it hundreds and hundreds of times. There's not a day that goes by that Chester and Allison and I don't think about something he said in one of his bits, and we probably use it and say it out loud. And if we don't say it out loud in casual conversation with other people, then we're at least thinking it. And this is easy to do because this entire comedy CD of his kind of covered like all life situations. He had bits about donuts, reading, science, spelling, the dogs, the sun, the art of saying goodbye, not looking stupid, fishing, monster trucks, logs, trucks, names, and of course, blasting zones.
I saw this sign posted once. It said, blasting zone ahead. Wow. Shouldn't that read road closed? What do you mean there's a blasting zone? What am I supposed to say? Hey, you might want to buckle up. Blasting zone coming up. Yeah, just saw the sign. Put the helmets on back there. Yeah, I think we're getting close. Oh, this is going to be a bad blasting zone. Remember that last one? We lost Billy. Sometimes the zones are open, you know?
I know that every time Allison drives by it, just like me, every time she drives by it, every time I drive by it, when we see those blasting zone signs, we think the exact same thing.
Shouldn't that read road closed?
And man, does that make me smile, knowing that we have that connection. And I confirmed this with her the other day. I pointed out the blasting zone signs, and she says, shouldn't that read road closed? So yeah, that is one of the joys of my life. Just driving around Charlottesville, I am reminded of this very happy memory of raising our kids with the comedy of Brian Regan. Now, this particular blasting zone has an additional sign, and this is probably a sign that most blasting zones have. But in addition to big yellow signs that say blasting zone, there's another one that says, turn off two-way radios and cell phones. And it's posted right on the side of a highway. So it's clear that they're talking to the drivers on the highway when they say, turn off your two-way radios and your cell phones. And every time I drive by there, I am so busy thinking of Brian Regan and my daughter Allison and my son Chester and how much joy that bit and all of the other Brian Regan bits brings us every day. And it's usually about that time that I realize that I just drove through a blasting zone and I did not turn off my cell phone. And I really, really hope that I was not the cause of anybody getting blown up any of those times I drove by. That's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my podcast. It's not yet a video podcast. Maybe someday. Thank you so much for listening to Three Things with JR. I know this one came out late this week, but it was worth it because I didn't have much to say on Sunday or Monday, but I do tonight. So there you go. Keep an eye out for Small Things Considered. If Gary and I can find a time to record the next couple days, there'll be a new episode of that show coming out on Tuesday. And that's it. Goodbye. Take luck.
It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. Yeah.
You ever start to say something and in the middle of what you're saying, you decide to say something else completely? You know, there's already words out there. These friends were leaving the other day, and I started to say, hey, take care, and I decided to say good luck instead, like halfway through, you know. So it came out in neither. See you later, Brian. Take luck. Take luck and care. Take care of the luck. Good luck taking care of the luck that you might have. If you have luck, take it and care for it. Take luck care of it. When you take all care of it, you're sure to see them again. So how do you know that guy back there? You know him good?